and welcome to the podcast that discusses all things gaming. Coming to you from the home of Indie PopCon, Gen Con, and the gaming capital of the world, we are the Established Facts.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 136 of the Established Facts. That's right.
Game show.
You're very welcome, Joshy. Tell them what they've won, Prime.
You've won Pocket Lint.
Yay! A life supply of Pocket Lint
It'll be good for starting fires.
in a post-apocalyptic world.
Brought to you by our sponsors at Levi.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so
Please don't sue us.
welcome
We
to
love
episode
everyone.
136 of the Established Facts. As you can see, we are super excited to get into this episode. We are doing our holiday and best of 2016 for the Established Facts. We're going to go ahead and go around the table, starting to my left, and introduce everybody, and then we'll get to talking. Or continue talking. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. That thing.
Go ahead.
Go.
Prime.
Drew.
This is Miss Holidays.
Oh, my. And
Lord.
AKA
Lance.
I feel better now. This is Josh.
This is Dr. Deb.
And of course, this is your schizophrenic host, Big Don.
Only on certain days.
Only on certain
That's my
days.
drag
Would it be
name, just for the
schizophrenic
day.
hosts?
No, because there's schizophrenia.
Sorry.
Personality.
No, that is a
Multiple
different-
personality.
No. That is a
Syndrome.
different DSM-5 psychiatric diagnosis,
They no longer
and that's
call
a
it that.
different
It's
app.
now
There you go.
dissociative identity disorder.
That is correct.
Oh, yeah. This is your
school.
host.
Your
Your
Ghost.
host of Christmas present.
Christmas present. All right. Anyway, good Lord. Happy holidays, everyone. For those of you who like to celebrate holidays.
Thanks, Chris McConn's
Happy
Festivus.
Christmas Hanukkah.
God bless.
Happy Durga Durga.
That was 3 months ago.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. Holidays it is. Then.
That's right. Happy holidays, everyone. We hope that you are having a great time with your family and friends. We hope you've played lots of games or got new games for your Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, solstice celebration. It's Festivus for the rest of
Oh,
us.
for the rest of us. Festivus for the rest of us.
Oh, good Lord. So we want to start our episode off by talking about some of the things that we really loved about the year 2016, because there were a lot of things that we really didn't. But let's highlight the things. We're going to put a silver lining around the cloud that is the year of 2016.
Okay.
Because there was a lot of things that
It's a
are
thin
just...
silver lining. But
So
it's
what's
there.
It's a real thin
You
one.
got-
So the plan is to start up and then go down? Is that what?
No, we're going to
Yeah.
try and set a higher bar, and we're going to start up and keep going. So we'll see.
I haven't
We'll
drunk
see.
enough for this.
It's probably not going to happen. It's probably not going to happen, but we'll have a good time messing it up and watch the world burn. So,
Some people just
Debbie,
want
we're going to start off by talking about our favorite new game for 2016, what we have played. Now, to define the parameters a little bit, we're not talking about we're not restricting it to a game that was released in 2016, just a game that you had never played before, that you played this year for the very first time, that you enjoyed the most. So, Debbie, why don't you kick us off?
Well, I feel a little bit like I'm cheating because everyone at the table knew what I was going to pick. But,
Marrying Mr. Darcy.
oh,
Way to go.
I thought you guys had that last year.
Peekaboo with your daughter.
no, we bought it
No?
earlier this year. It was around March, May.
Wow, you just threw a wrench in her
Yeah.
plans.
I'd say come back to me, but no, actually, I'm going to go with
No,
my
I'm
original
not-
plan because I really do enjoy the one I'm about to say. a little bit more. It's only a very little bit more. Marrying Mr. Darcy is best when played with at least 4 other women who all know Pride and Prejudice very well because you can do the voices correctly.
Yeah, I played it and I knew enough.
Yeah.
I've seen
I've read
Pride and
movies.
Prejudice a
Okay.
million times.
I've fallen asleep and woken up in the middle of it multiple times.
if you watch the series version, you can probably start it and then really like sleep like 6 hours through and then catch the end.
No, it's
I've
5
seen
hours.
You've Got Mail.
Oh, sorry, 4.
BBC is
Take a 4 hour.
sort of.
You take
but not
a
really. There was no Lydia, and you got
Right.
mail though, and you gotta have Lydia. But anywho,
You take a 4 hour nap in between.
That's not a nap. That's just going to sleep.
that's
my
going to
point.
sleep for the night. Okay,
That's my
so
point.
being a very close and excited second with Marrying Mr. Darcy, my number 1 is gonna have to be the Harry Potter card game, which
Yeah.
did come out in 2016.
That's right.
It was, good lord, it was all the rage at Gen Con. I thought some people were going to lose a limb over it, but really well designed, cooperative
Yep.
deck building game.
It's a US Happli game.
It is a US Happli
Yeah.
game, and they did a really good job with it. Yeah, I really like the concept behind it. I like the level of difficulty is good. You don't feel like it's going to beat the tar out of you, but you do still get that, oh gosh, we're going to die in a couple parts, but you can beat it. It's a really well designed game, and it really captures the spirit of the Harry Potter. Like what the cards do makes sense with the Harry Potter characters in the book and in the movies, and I think that was important. Is they didn't get away from that. Is what you do, it matches with the character you play. It was well thought out. Someone who thought about it really did a good job with it, and I appreciate that. So that's my favorite.
Okay, cool. Joshy, what you got?
Well, I'm probably going to be one of the few at the table that uses a video game. But I've enjoyed a lot of board games this year. But the Telltale series Batman that's out right now, they just released episode 4.
Oh, yeah, I've seen
Is just enthralling. It is extremely well done.
Is that the one where the storyline is based off of the choices that you make?
yes.
That's
Ooh.
awesome.
Very, very little combat, a few button mashing combat things here, but for the most part, it's all conversation and making choices.
Really?
Oh my gosh, it is so good.
I watched him play it. It's even I'm like, really? Did that just happen? Okay, and so it's
And
good.
it's like a whole new world of Batman decisions. On one of the core decisions in like episode 1 or 2 is to decide to save Selena Kyle or save Harvey Dent. And had you not saved if you saved Selena, Harvey would immediately become Two-Face based off what's going on. But I saved Harvey, and he's not Two-Face yet.
Oh, wow.
So it's a very interesting storyline. And I don't know. I absolutely am enthralled by it. I just downloaded episode 4 last night. Really looking forward to playing that. So it's really good.
All right. Lance, what you got?
I chose a game that we played. Well, we didn't. I played at BillCon. I'm a big chess fan, and the game that was introduced to me is kind of a gladiator arena chess game. It's called Hoplomachus. It's by Chip Theory. And in it, you are one side of a gladiator ludus, and you're fighting against another ludus. You have a champion gladiator, and then you have throwaway gladiators that all have different powers. For example, one can be an archer, and he can hit two grid squares away, whereas one guy is just a big basher, and he does a lot of damage, but up close. So the gameplay is very chess-like. You have to think out your move in advance. Really well designed, really well done.
Cool. All
My
right.
backup is the horror at Camp Havenwood game.
Okay. All right.
But I
heard of that
can't tell
game.
you much about it because I only got to play half of a game of that.
Sure.
And then I had to leave.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Horror at Camp Havenwood is a game that myself and one of my best friends, Alan McFarland, are working on. We're in the middle of designing and doing play tests of. And so if you're interested, hit us up on Facebook. We can always set up a demo. Come and check it out and stuff like that. But thank you, Lance, for that nod. Drew, what you got for us?
I'm having a rough time deciding
Oh, man.
because, I played Hanabi this year,
Okay.
which is a cooperative game. You are making fireworks, and the way that you do this
cool.
is you have to play cards. They're numbered cards with colors, and you have to build each color deck by laying down them in the right order. Problem is that your cards are facing away from you.
Oh, neat.
So everybody else has to give you hints about your cards, and you have to give them hints about their cards in order to get the, you have to lay down the green one, then or a white one, or whatever, and you can't lay down that number and color again.
Oh.
Otherwise, it shortens the fuse, and if you blow up, you lost.
What's the game called again?
Hanabi.
Oh,
Hanabi. That's fascinating. I'm intrigued.
It's in a little deck. It's not really an expensive game. I think it was maybe $10, $12.
Okay.
So I really like that one. From Steve Jackson Games, Bill and Ted's excellent board game is a ton of fun. It's kind of like Robo Rally, is what I've heard a lot of people describe it as. You have your phone booth, and you're moving through trying to pick up famous people in order to get the most excellent history report.
Sure.
Okay.
There's 2 bad guys on the board that are moved by the types of moves that you do. So you play cards that determine what moves you're going to do. When you pick people up, they also determine what moves you're going to do. And the cards also determine what moves the bad guys are going to do. So you can lose when a bad guy crosses your path. You lose one of your historical figures, and somebody else can come pick them up. So it's a lot of fun, but you have to sit here and think about where you're going to end up with your moves, and then hopefully nobody screws it up before you go by moving the bad guys into your way. And then computer game, I've really enjoyed Overwatch from Blizzard. That's been a lot of fun. I've been enjoying the heck out of that one. That's a team game where you're trying to capture points or move a payload along with the rest of the team, and then you've got another team that's trying to stop you from doing that. And then you switch and play the other side. So that's been a lot of fun. And the last one was the Marvel Munchkin.
Okay.
I've enjoyed a lot of...
That is a really, really fun game.
I enjoyed this one a lot more than some of the other versions of Munchkin. I enjoy all of them, but this one is probably my favorite because you have a character card that gives you a special ability in the game. And, it's set in the Marvel Universe, and I'm a big Marvel Comics fan. So that might be the other person.
We played it once, and
I haven't played it yet.
One particular person got very powerful very fast, and we were really kind of surprised by it. But
shuffle the cards better then.
Otherwise, we've really enjoyed it.
So those were the ones that I enjoyed this year. But I think overall, Hanabi would probably be my favorite because it's a very interesting game style that I hadn't run into previously.
Yeah.
Just made me remember Colt Express.
Oh,
how much fun we have! I know that fired a lot of that.
It was a good game.
Oh, yeah.
And that whole boiler up for you guys for Camp Haven.
Yeah.
Colt Express. If you haven't played,
They're not the same games,
They're
just so
not.
you guys know.
No, they're
but
Colt Express is a bank robbing programming game where you lay down your actions either face up or face down depending on what's going on, and your character goes up and down this train car. So it's not bank robbing; it's a train car robbing, and you either get shot by a sheriff or shot by your other players, or you pick up money, and at the end of the game, whoever has the most money wins the game.
the expansions, from what I understand, make that game crazy. Because the marshal can actually go up on top of the. I think he can go up on top of the cars and stuff like that. So yeah,
we played another train robbing game at BillCon as well. What game was that?
Robin Rails.
That's the one.
Yeah,
Yes.
Robin Rails. That's Todd Boyer's
working on that
baby. Yeah, that's his baby. That game is fun. It's there. I mean,
once you know the rules, it's a lot of fun.
Mechanically,
good game.
obviously, what I love about Todd's game is he's super enthusiastic about it, and he's still kind of in the working the kinks out. One thing that has been a blessing for myself and my business partner Alan is that we have gotten a chance to demo the heck out of our game. We've probably done close to 50 demos of our game, and it's really helped shape our game. Well, Todd, being the only person working on his game, it's really tough for him to get playtests in. I think he said he's done maybe 8 or 9 playtests of his game. So he's really enthusiastic about people who will sit down and play the game and kind of help him hone the vision of his game, which was a lot of fun. And I had a great time with that game. It wasn't my favorite for 2016, but I did consider it when we were kind of coming up with our ideas and stuff like that. So, Prime, what you got?
I'm going to have to say Xeno Shift.
Yeah.
When we played it at BillCon, it's a pretty fun game.
That's a good game. That is a good game.
But basically, you have your own. You have to build your own deck essentially of soldiers, and basically you have to help fend off a horde of xenomorphs that are trying to attack your base. And like you've got your guys, and then as a secondary defense, you have a wall that has a certain amount of armor that digresses as they attack it, and chew through your army essentially. But it's a pretty fun game. I played it one time over during BillCon. But that's probably, as far as new games are concerned, one of my favorites of this year.
We actually won that game, which was remarkable because Alan had even said that he had never seen anybody get past like the 7th round of that game to win, and that game was so intense. Like, it has increasing levels of difficulty. It's essentially a deck builder, but it's a cooperative deck builder where you can give your troops to other teammates for them to fill in their slots. You have a card in front of you that has like 5 slots for you to place your troops for the next wave of attacks, but you can help by kind of donating forces for your other teammates before the onslaught of basically bugs, these huge nasty bugs, come at you to try and kill you, and it is intense.
Well, and I think the most intense part about it is 4 players all going at the same time.
Yeah, you're basically going at the same time.
Once the wave hits, I mean, you can sort of kind of do a step by step if you want, but frankly, you can also go at the same time. If you think your little soldier, military thing that's in front of you can defeat this wave, you can just keep going.
Yeah.
And go until all 5
It's
monsters
crazy.
are defeated.
It's crazy.
And it was,
It was fun, though. It was definitely fun. I would have to say my favorite game for this year, my favorite new game, is Firefly Encounters, the Legendary Encounters Firefly. I had a great... Game. I know that it kind of got a little bit of a bad rap during Gen Con when it released because of the artwork. The artwork wasn't super clean, but I will say, being a Firefly fan, this game makes you feel like you are a crewman of Serenity, and it's fun. It is a lot of fun. It is cooperative. You can play it with 1 to 5 in the game, and it's a cool game. Like, it's a good time. If you've played any of the other Legendary Encounters games, it's the same mechanics. The difference is, I feel like this one is a little bit lighter than like the Aliens Encounters. That game is intense. I love that game, but it is super intense.
I've never won in that game.
It is so intense, but Legendary Encounters Firefly, it's a lot of fun. I had a great time playing that. It was really between that one and Robbing Rails, Todd's game that he's working on, that really kind of sold it for me at our BillCon this year. But yeah, we play a lot of newer games, or like we play a lot of first time games at that little get together in September, mainly
because over half of them we never see throughout the year.
Right. Well, yeah, we don't see a lot of those guys most of the year, and then we all bring, not only the stuff that we just got at Gen Con, but then we bring other games that we've had for a while that maybe we haven't dusted off and played with other people. So yeah, it was, that was probably my favorite game. So,
Josh, I'm surprised you didn't mention Laboom.
Oh my gosh, Laboom. Laboom got plenty of traction Where was that? At Gen Con.
Yeah, it was a
Gen
good
Con
show.
up, the last Gen Con up we did.
It really is memorable, yes. And maybe it's just because the new Batman game is on my mind, a little more front of mind at the moment. But yeah, Laboom is a highly recommended $6 or whatever.
$6 Mayfair game. It's a bomb that has a 6-sided die with it, and they're on two sides it's got a bomb.
It's a
On
bomb.
two sides it's got an explosion, and on two sides it's got basically a fizzing fuse. And it's a hot potato style game. You set the bomb in the middle. You roll the 6-sided die. If you get the bomb, you take the bomb from the middle. If somebody rolls an explosion before they roll a bomb, then the bomb explodes. That person's eliminated. The bomb goes back in the middle. You start play over again. If you get a fuse, nothing happens. You pass the die. If you roll the bomb, you pass the bomb to that person. And it's just a real fun, quick... Bonnie and I discovered that game probably 4 or 5 years ago at Gen Con, but the problem is we have 2 children that were of the age of being able to, oh, look, a die. I don't need this plastic thing. I can throw that away. And it was like, what happened to our game? So we probably bought 3 copies of that game. But it's worth it. It's so much fun. It's a super silly... super easy game to play, and what I love doing with that game is determining, like, if you have a big long game that you're going to play, determining who goes first by playing La Bombe. The person who's left alive gets to go first.
idea.
Yeah, I've done that. I've probably done that 4 or 5 times, just because it's a fun, quick game, and it comes in like 7 different colors. Like you can get, it's green, red, white, yellow, black, and blue, so I guess six colors.
So you fashion conscious folks out there, it can match whatever outfit you are going out to game in.
We're talking like an Acme Warner Brothers cartoon style bomb.
Yeah, and the coolest, in my opinion, the coolest part about the game is the bomb literally separates in half. You put the die inside, you put the cap back on, you just stick the bomb in your pocket.
Takes up no space.
Takes up, minimal space. So lots of fun.
Hey, you want to play a game? You just pull it out of your pocket.
It's LEBOOMB.
Laboom.
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 Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about our favorite conventions of 2016. We went to quite a few. I think Drew's going to have probably the most knowledge of the conventions this year because he's probably been to the most out of anybody at the table. So we're going to go ahead and... We started with Deb, right, on the games. We'll go ahead and start with Prime on favorite con for 2016.
That's a toughie. I'm stuck between 2.
Well, choose one of them.
I know. That's the hard part.
It's the choosing that's the hard part.
I think I'm gonna go with PopCon
Okay. Why?
because
PopCon.
yeah, that's why. Because PopCon.
Because PopCon.
Popcorn.
No, actually, no, scratch. I don't know.
You're going with PopCon.
I'm going with PopCon because
You're going with PopCon.
I always like it at PopCon.
Yeah.
Since I'm generally an exhibitor there, I typically have more time to go socialize with other vendors and get to know the people that are actually involved in the actual con. So it's a lot more personal than just going and going and playing games is fun, but when you get to have that social interaction with as an extrovert, it means a little bit more than just simply playing games.
And we got to give away 2 3-day passes for next year's PopCon. Both of them won by people that do not live in Indiana, which I thought was awesome. I thought that was so cool. Our friend Princey, who lives in Akron, close to Akron.
Ohio,
Akron, Ohio.
Which her and her whole group, they're cool.
Yeah, they were
super
awesome.
cool.
They were there for the Ruby panel and ended up befriending our friend Avital and befriended all of us. And Princey ended up winning the individual 3-day pass for PopCon next year. And then that'd be horrible if she won it for last year.
All right.
She won the 3-day pass for last year's
Sunday.
PopCon. Hey!
You can put it in Shadow Box. Yay!
What I thought was the neatest thing about that, they were huge Ruby fans, and if you went to PopCon, you should know that there were 4 of the voices from Ruby were there. The VIP pass had all 4 of their characters' art on, like someone had done a piece of art for the VIP pass. they got a hold of one from a friend of ours on Sunday evening when the con was over, and all 4 of them signed their VIP pass. I thought that was like, I was like, that's so cool.
What
like,
more can you
so
ask for
neat.
with
Yeah,
that?
I mean, just really neat stuff. So, anyway, yeah, PopCon. Drew, you're next. What do you got?
Great radio.
Yeah, I know. Dead air, great.
Crickets.
We're making them wait for it. Wait
That's right.
for it.
Building
It's coming.
anticipation.
It's
Dramatic
hard for me to
pause.
say which,
Which child is your favorite, Drew?
Yeah, I know.
Right.
It's okay, we're not paying you.
Yeah, I know. Neither are they. Don't worry. I always enjoy In Conjunction.
Okay.
That's July 4th weekend. I've been going to that since 1992.
Wow.
I've helped out with it since 1993.
Okay.
So I always enjoy it. This past year was actually the first year that I theoretically did not work the convention. I still ended up doing a bunch of stuff there.
Sure.
I helped out with the charity auction because my wife was running that. But, that's generally the convention I look forward to all year round.
Okay.
But I also went to like Indiana Comic Con, and I had a great time there.
That was a good con this year.
And the big thing that I had happen there was, okay, I'm big into comic books and to reading and that type of thing. Media guests don't really do a lot for me because I'm usually not going to pay for them.
Right.
I did pay for one media guest this year, and that was Maurice LaMarche,
Okay.
the voice of the Brain.
Yep.
Now, long time ago, a friend of mine, she was working for some company going to all these conventions and ended up going out to Hollywood. And she actually bought a Brain for President t-shirt
Oh my
for me
gosh.
and had it signed by the director
Oh, cool.
of several of the episodes of Pinky the Brain. So I took that with me to
Indiana Comic Con.
Indiana Comic Con and had Maurice LaMarche sign it.
That's cool.
So he looks in this and goes, "Oh my God, I haven't seen one of these in like a decade or more."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Well, I got one."
That's so cool.
So that was neat. But then, I also ended up comic book author Chris Claremont was there.
Okay.
Chris Claremont in the 90s wrote a series of science fiction novels.
Okay.
He published 3 of them, never published the 4th. I got a chance to talk with him because I brought these with me. I brought 2 of the first 2 books with me. I should have brought the 3rd one, but I thought that was being greedy.
Right.
I should have known better and just said, "Here's the extra $5. Let's go for it."
Right.
But he goes, "Yeah, I haven't seen these in a long time." And so I got a chance to talk to him and ask him about, so what happened with the 4th book? I never wrote it.
Oh.
Are you kidding me? Because I enjoyed the hell out of the series,
Yeah.
and I wanted to know what happened at the end.
Yeah.
Right.
And he just got distracted and
He
decided
didn't even
not to.
tell you, like, I didn't write the book, but here's what happened in my mind.
No. Dang it. He said, "I keep meaning to get back to it."
Oh man.
So maybe sometime in the future.
Yeah.
Send him an annoying email every other week.
Chris Claremont, the
How's that book
reunion
going
tour.
for you?
Yeah.
Oh my god. How's the book coming for you, Chris? I know it's Brian. That was the joke.
But yeah, I went to Comic-Con mostly to meet the comic book authors and artists.
Okay.
And I got a chance to talk with several of them.
That's very cool.
Somehow I missed several of them that I wanted to meet.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but those were my 2 favorites this year.
Okay. Cool. Lance, what you got?
As far as I want it to be BillCon, for the simple fact that it was a memorial convention
Yeah.
this year, and it was very special. My favorite... No, I'll go runner-up. Runner-up was Indie PopCon,
Okay.
because I did the whole Kevin Smith thing and his daughter's movie.
That's right.
And the whole father-daughter
And Rats.
story behind that made that whole convention for me. Yeah. Trying to tear up because of the story. So I'm just going to go to number 1. My favorite con this year was Comic Con, or as I like to say, Leah Thompson Con.
I was going to ask you because I remembered that you had Like that was a big deal. Like
That
to
was
do
the only reason I
Yeah.
went to
Yep.
that convention.
Yeah. And you got 2 pictures with her, correct?
Yes.
One
One
with
of us
the-
kissing
one with the
and
Twix.
one with the Twix.
That's right. And one with Pringles duck lips.
That's right. Which she asked for a copy of.
That's fun. That's super fun. That's awesome. Okay, cool. What you got, Joshy?
Well, I've also got 2, but they're kind of equal in pairing. Number 1, working. Enjoyed working PopCon this year. It was probably the hardest we've had to work.
It was definitely the most stressful PopCon we've ever done.
But somehow it managed to be even more fun.
Right.
Especially once things were going smoothly.
Yeah. Once Saturday came.
But attending, I'm going to have to put DrewCon on the table because I know not everybody was able to make that, but I was really glad to be a part of that process with Derek and Adam and Martian Bob and those guys because it really was a con of love, and they did a lot of hard work putting it together. I don't think I'm ever going to forget Maggie going to that children's museum with
Genius. Thanks to Beth Roper. It was Beth's suggestion, if I recall correctly.
Yes.
We didn't know what to do with our 1.5 year child in St. Louis, Missouri, but
there's Science Museum. Where'd you go to the
Children's Museum, the Magic House.
I've heard that both of those in St. Louis are amazing.
And we're like, what do we do? And Beth Roper was like, take her to the Magic House, to which then we make a weird face and go, what? And she goes, no, it's the Children's Museum here in St. Louis. Well, okay. So Carrie, brave nanny that she is, packed her into the van because it was raining. She was going to go to the zoo and it was raining.
Yeah.
That wasn't going to work.
The zoo's fun. We went to the zoo 2 years ago.
It's a great zoo. But so we're like, what are we going to do with our child? And she takes her. We're getting pictures, just blowing up our phone about all the fun that Maggie's having.
Cool.
And she's like, she's having a blast. She doesn't want to leave. She's just having so much fun. So
and just a tip for those that do end up in St. Louis to go to the Magic House.
Yeah.
The $10, if you go in the morning and need to leave for lunch and naps or whatever, they'll honor your badge coming back later in the day.
you can come back and do it later
So-
because that's exactly what she did. She brought her back to the hotel, let her have a nap, and then they went back for like a couple more hours in the
Cool.
evening.
So working was one thing, but attending, I still have the memory of playing the wizard from the D&D cartoon role playing game that we played.
What is his name?
Presto.
Presto. Thank you, Lance. Thank you.
80s cartoon trivia.
There you go.
Bring it.
I love that show.
It was a very fun. It's always
That
fun
whole
to watch
season.
Avital try and play a character.
Yeah.
Because Avital is you just hand her a character and she tries to really get into it, and she was getting into her character, but she's just laughing and giggling along with everybody else. So it was really a lot of fun.
Cool. Well, Debbie, what you got?
Well, my husband took one of them that I was going to do, which is okay because DrewCon was great. It was a ton of fun for a lot of reasons. It wasn't just the games. It was just because we knew the process that it had taken to be able to get it going, and then to be able to see the fruition and people coming and having a great time. And thanks to DrewCon, they're doing Fear the Con again because they saw how passionate we were about wanting to do that. So they're going to do it as Fear the Con again in 2017. So yay. But I have to, Gen Con. I'm sorry, none of y'all said it, so I'm like, then I'm totally taking Gen Con because come on, it's our convention. It is honestly the best 4 days in gaming, and we look forward to it every year. I never know what I'm going to get into. This year, I remember that's where I played the Harry Potter card game first, where we're demoing it, and I really wasn't sure if I was going to be into it or not because I really wasn't sure I was getting into. Carrie was gung-ho. She was playing this game or she was going to die trying, and so 3 of us sat down to play it, and I loved it, and because I loved it, I ended up buying it, and Carrie has a copy. I think we all got copies. I don't know, it's Gen Con is just it's my I won't
jam.
I won't say it's my favorite time of the year, but it's actually my second favorite time of the year. There's one other time that actually does beat it, but it's so much fun. You see people you only see there. It's ridiculous. The amount of stuff you can do, the amount of new experiences you can have that you will take you with you through the rest of the year. True Dungeon. I can't name them all. You've been to Gen Con. You know what this is. The list just goes forever. The exhibit, I don't know how they're going to get the exhibit hall any bigger. I'm really, really, really scared that one day I'm going to end up in there and it's going to be the size of like a New York block, and I'm not going to even be able to get through 3 rows. But you know, the independent game designers, we bought the Trekking the National Parks there, which is a really great educational game. I'm looking forward to teaching Maggie it in her future. And Gen Con, it's the classic. I mean, it's Gen Con.
Okay. All right. It's Gen Con. Well, I would have to say that my favorite convention is also Gen Con. So it's funny that you said that nobody said it, because I was like, well, I was going to. Okay. But it's totally fine.
My telepathy wasn't working. I'm sorry.
It's for different reasons.
You had the helmet on, Magneto. I couldn't pick it up.
It's all right. Have the helmet on.
Comic book reference from Deb.
Point.
Yeah. The reason that I thought Gen Con this year was probably my favorite convention was I got to actually play a lot of games with my wife and kids. We played in... Shut up. We played in the King of Tokyo tournament together, which we all had a blast. And then my wife and I played in the Red Dragon Inn tournament. Yep. That was fun. Mm-hmm. And then, even though we didn't play the game at the same time, we both played the... Refuge, and which actually just funded on Kickstarter not too long ago. Make sure you get online and buy a copy of it. It's an amazing game. It's a lot of fun.
Zambies?
That is the one with the Zambies.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, you played it too, didn't you?
Yeah, you played it. You liked it too. You and Bonnie were telling me about it.
It's a good game. It's a very good game. It's not a complicated rule set. It's a lot of fun, though.
And there is a fair amount of strategy to it.
There is. Yeah, there is. So, for that reason, and then also... And we said this after when we did our Gen Con wrap-up podcast. For some reason, this year's Gen Con just felt super lovey on all of our friends. You know, we played games with Derek, and we played games with Daniel, and we played...
they got engaged.
They did. They got engaged. Our friends Bryce and Danny got engaged. You know, it was really cool that we got a chance to experience not only Gen Con, but we literally got to experience the life-changing of, 4 people that, we really care a lot about. And then on top of that, when we played in our Pathfinder game, the GMs...
Pathfinder Society game.
Yes, Pathfinder Society game. Every GM that we had was awesome.
Yeah.
And they were all young, which I thought was great. Like, I'm pretty sure the oldest GM we had was probably 23, 24. Mm-hmm. Every one of them was a young GM that was excited about playing. And so what was great about that was, as Adam Gottfried might tell you, it can be difficult when you are running Pathfinder Society to really have a good time in it. All right, whale. But what was awesome... Yeah. What was awesome was the fact that we had GMs that were excited to run for us, which made us excited to play.
That had stayed up late the night before, so they were extra tired.
Right, so they were extra tired. So they were willing to let us pretty much do whatever we wanted.
Shout out to Madden.
Well, yeah, right. Yes. Madden, awesome.
Yes, definitely. I offered DM sacrifices from Starbucks to several of them to apologize for the early warning.
We loved playing in those games. In my opinion, those games, I love True Dungeon. I had a great time in True Dungeon.
And our cheerleader again.
That's right. We had Kelly. But those Pathfinder games were the highlight of my Gen Con, next to me playing King of Tokyo with my wife and my oldest son. Mm-hmm. Like those two are pretty much the peak of my Gen Con gaming this year, and I had a weekend full of fantastic games. And definitely Madden running for us. Was it Saturday night that she ran for us? Saturday night's game? Mm-hmm. So much fun. So much fun. And what I love is when the GMs are having just as much fun running as the players are at the table playing.
I don't think that we make that happen. We do.
Yeah. Well, we do the same thing with Adam. When he runs Pathfinder Society with us, we do the same thing with him.
He's usually rolling on the floor at least once with what we're doing.
Well, even the fun, quick game story on that. We just ran the first Pathfinder Society scenario for Season 8.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Involving having to hunt down this fortune teller.
Yeah.
And
that was hilarious.
The third part of this scenario is it was to go to this marketplace and have this big confrontation with her and these other monsters or whatever.
Well, we had a choice. We could go to the theater and try and track her down, or we can go to the marketplace where she'd be.
Right.
And then have that big,
right.
yeah.
But the marketplace, ultimately, if we went to the market, she'd go to we'd have to fight at the auditorium and vice versa. That's where the scenario was supposed to go.
Right.
We, on the other hand, stopped it at our first stop.
Yeah.
Chased her down, stopped her completely.
Yeah.
Cut her in half.
And well,
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened.
technically, we didn't.
No, we didn't. A magical sword
The
did.
magical sword did.
Yeah. Right.
Anyway.
That was summoned by our cleric.
That was Adam looked at it was over with, and Adam went, well, that was not how that was supposed to go.
Yeah. It was so much fun.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Gaming stories.
That's right. So Gen Con was definitely my favorite, but I had, Indie PopCon was totally different than we had ever experienced before. We actually got a chance to play a couple games at Indie PopCon that were a lot of fun. We got to meet a ton of really cool people. We got, obviously, we have definitely made it common knowledge that Joshi and Prime and I are big wrestling fans, and so the fact that we got to go to a live wrestling event that was
Invasion, put on by
6
Strong Style
hours
Wrestling.
long. But the fact that we got to go to a live wrestling event, that was tons of fun. We got to see the Headbangers, and they were cracking me up. And our buddy Jake Oman, who was at Indie PopCon as well, and does White River Wrestling. If you guys are ever interested in your local, you want to check something like that out. They do a quarterly event up in Fishers.
At Pinheads.
At Pinheads, that's right. So definitely check them out. That was a lot of fun. But getting on to our third and last best of 2016.
What just happened?
Debbie just had an idea.
Well, no, I had a question, but I don't know how to ask for it live on mic because it'll be obvious that I should have asked it before we got on mic.
Okay.
Go ahead and
Ask it anyway.
Wait it. Pause the recording, and it'll pretend like this never happened.
Okay.
Yeah, that didn't happen anyway. So let's get on to our last of three favorites questions for 2016. We're going to talk about we're going to talk about favorite movies for 2016, and you know what? I'm going to go ahead and start. Doggone it! Everybody else,
I'm going to go last.
You never
You're gonna
start.
go. That's right. I never start. So my favorite movie for 2016 is definitely Captain America: Civil War. That movie.
That comic
Game
series.
two?
It is
Probably
probably a game, but the setup for that movie, like I know they're going to do a part 1 and part 2, is ridiculous. Like, the amount of action is amazing, but the storyline that connects all the dots from like the beginning, no spoilers, but it is phenomenal to be able to see how the Marvel Universe has kind of formed around this big arcing storyline from the beginning. I know that they did the Incredible Hulk movie, but I think the first pre-Avengers movie was Iron Man. Was it not?
It is when you go on Wikipedia
Yeah.
and you look
So-
at the
The
Marvel
Incredible
Universe.
Hulk counts as being in the MCU,
Yeah.
but as far as
It wasn't
the start that kicked off the big MCU was Iron Man.
Right. And that's what I was going to say.
Iron Man came out before. It was Iron Man, then the Incredible Hulk.
Oh, really?
If you look
Yeah,
on
I'm pretty
Wikipedia.
sure.
With Edward Norton?
Yeah.
I thought it came out before. Okay.
No, Eric Bana's Hulk came out before that.
That doesn't. We don't talk about
We're not.
that.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. Okay, so yeah,
Iron Man and then
so,
the Incredible Hulk.
So seeing that whole storyline, just kind of
14 movies later.
Oh my gosh, yes, but so good. Like it's crazy to me that we're finally in a generation of movie making where the sequels don't suck. Like they seem to just get. I mean, there are those series that have bad sequels. And Lance
Or
is probably going to talk
origin
about
for
or bad
primary
origin, bad from the beginning, in Lance's way. But
all just
in
terrible.
general, it's all just terrible. Right? But it's cool to me that we have movie series that are coming out, and they have amazing sequel after amazing sequel, and the effects get better, and the storyline continues to say, even if it doesn't stay like specifically talking about comic book themed movies. Even if the storyline doesn't stay solid with the comics or the original stories. The fact that they at least
most movies don't stay true 100% to their source material anyway.
Right.
It's just, were you upset during the Harry Potter movies that this was left out?
Right.
I'm upset during the Marvel character movies that this was left out.
Right, exactly. But the fact that they've been able to keep the storyline growing and not taking away from the original source content, that is really cool to me, that they just keep doing awesome things.
And I think from a technical standpoint, I think the actors are more comfortable with their characters now that they've been through a few movies and gone, okay, well, this is how my character is developing. And, you know,
it's fun to see Hugh Jackman in the original X-Men movie.
Because he is nothing like
and
he
then
is
to watch him
Logan.
now,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He looks like a computer nerd in freaking X-Men.
Right.
I'm gonna seriously have a moment because the last he's gonna do his last one is Wolverine, and the movie's called Logan.
Yep,
and it's coming out. I saw it. I was almost in tears when I saw the previews.
The Old Man Logan storyline.
It's gonna be so
it's
good.
the Old Man Logan storyline, and then he's gonna go off and do other things and make more millions of dollars.
It's the Old Man Logan storyline with what Fox has the rights to do.
Yeah, there you go.
But it's still going to be good. It's still going to be... I've enjoyed the spin-off Wolverine series. I wasn't a huge fan of Origins, but I still liked it enough to go and see Wolverine, and Wolverine was awesome. So I'm really excited about what they do with Logan. But in general, for my pick for this year, Captain America Civil War, if you have not seen it, go and see it. It's really, really, really good. It's really good. So I'm going to kind of do a weird, shoelacy, crisscrossy thing because Lance wants to go last. So I'm going to go with Prime next.
I'm definitely going to have to say Deadpool.
Okay.
Because Deadpool.
Right.
I mean...
Yeah. What's funny about that, too, though, is you and I went and saw Deadpool together.
Yeah.
And when we walked out of the theater, we both looked at each other and go, that was a really funny, really good movie.
Well, when I saw the trailers, I was like, this movie is going to be garbage.
Yeah.
But I'm going to watch it anyways.
Yeah.
And so, because it was a Marvel, I got to give it to Marvel. Marvel's never, since Ed Norton's Incredible Hulk on, they haven't really disappointed me.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, are you not a fan of The Punisher from the 90s?
not really.
Deadpool was a Fox movie with Marvel, so
It's still a Marvel movie.
I know, but
I don't care who did
it's
it.
not part of the cinematic universe, so don't throw yourself too much.
I knew what you meant. I got you back.
Thank you.
I got your
So,
back.
from Ed Norton's Incredible Hulk onward, Marvel has never done me wrong.
All right. So Deadpool.
Give it a chance, and then I actually started watching it, and I had to get in the mindset that this was obviously going to be a ridiculous movie, regardless.
Satirical from beginning to end.
And from the trailers, you can tell.
Yeah.
When he's posing, laying down, basically in his Deadpool outfit,
Yeah.
like talking about being your new girlfriend or something.
I think that was so funny, that Ryan Reynolds did all those, Valentine's Day, a romantic story about a boy and a girl, and then just it. Yeah, wow. That movie is so not that.
And there was so
There's a love story.
There is a love story. Yeah, there is.
Ultimately, that is the thread that ties the whole movie together.
That's
right.
That's what got me is that the fact that there was actually storyline
Right.
to the movie.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's not just a movie of one-liners
Right.
from beginning to end. It is, but there's an actual story that it follows. So.
Right.
All right. Debbie, your favorite movie of 2016?
Well, it was a hard one, and I thought Prime was going to pick my other one, so I thought I was off the hook, but I'm not off the hook because he changed his mind. So I will give. So my honorable mention, my second place is Doctor Strange from the Marvel Universe, because I absolutely love Benedict Cumberbatch, as anybody who has heard me at all knows, and I wanted to see how he would take the character of Doctor Strange, and I really liked the way that he acted Doctor Strange. I will tell you the way he plays the character before he becomes Doctor Strange, and I'm trying not to give away too many spoilers, but when he plays that character, okay, sorry, he plays a doctor, he plays a neurosurgeon.
Right, I was going to say, he's a doctor.
He's a neurosurgeon.
Yeah, I didn't go to medical school to be called Mr. Strange.
That's correct. And he totally tells somebody off with that, and later on, he's like, it is Doctor Strange, and I was like, yes, it is. Okay, anyway, very nice. The way he plays the neurosurgeon early on is perfect, because every neurosurgeon that I've ever personally met does tend to have that slightly fill in a blank for an inappropriate word because we're family friendly, does tend to be that way sometimes.
Yeah.
But he plays that very well. And I'm like, yeah, that makes total sense. So, Doctor Strange gets honorable mention. But number one has to be the movie that I went to at 9:45 at night on a work night. And I'm a doctor, okay? I had to be up. But Carrie and I both went to 9:45 p.m. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Yeah.
And it was totally worth it. Absolutely worth it. I was exhausted the next day and didn't care. Because we were really excited because J.K. Rowling she's the writer. She's also the main producer, so she was very much involved.
Is she?
Yes.
That's awesome.
The first producer listed is J.K. Rowling. So she was very, very much involved in this movie, even more so than the Harry Potter movies. And because she was the writer, we were excited because we wanted to see, can we feel that? If you read her writing, you know what I mean? Can you feel that in the way that the actors speak? Can you feel that in the way do you feel that in the universe? And yes, you do. Just some of the back and forth, the conversations, the character development that happened. The beasts are breathtaking. There are beasts in there. In case you know that. Yeah, just
right
in case.
Magical beasts.
Yeah, magical beasts. Yeah, there's one.
Who would have thought?
They're gorgeous. And we were so excited when we got to the end. We just like a good book. You want in the next one. We want to know more about these characters.
Sure.
So I can't wait for the development of telling more about Newt Scamander's story,
So
and it'll be
more
more story. It'll touch into Hogwarts story. We'll meet Dumbledore before we're done, because Dumbledore is a Transfiguration professor. We're in 1926.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. Precursor to Harry Potter, Harry Potter
extremely.
series.
Correct,
Extremely.
but Dumbledore is still alive. Remember, Dumbledore is quite old when we meet him in Hogwarts. So he's a professor at Hogwarts at this point, and so we will meet him, and we'll have more of that story told. But we're in New York City, which I'm sure you guys already knew that too. But really
Do
good.
they use the same actor for Dumbledore?
You do not meet Dumbledore in this one.
Oh,
he is
he's just
mentioned.
referred
That's
to.
it. He is referred to, and that is it.
Okay.
We have not met him yet. It
I was
was
going to say that'd be so cool.
Yeah, no, we don't know yet.
Right.
De-age him somehow.
Yeah, exactly.
I
It's like Tron.
just read total
Spackle.
rumor. Just
Fill
read
in the
total
cracks.
rumor on Facebook that somebody was mentioning that they're in the process of casting the young Dumbledore.
Okay.
And like Hugh Laurie is apparently on the short
Oh
list.
my god.
Oh, anyway,
Right.
sorry. Woo. Anyway, so as someone who's a fan of a good story, well told, you feel that in Fantastic Beasts. And the thing that drives me nuts is people are like, there's so many questions at the end, and I really wanted to. Yes, there will be questions. It's the first movie out of 5. I'm sorry. You're going to
is
have
it?
some questions.
I
Yes.
thought there
doing
was
a
only going to be
series?
3. Okay.
5 is
I
what
didn't
everyone's
realize
writing,
that.
is that they're going to do a 5
Well,
movie
then.
series.
Oh my God.
So lots. I was like, of course there's openings. She's got 4 more movies.
Is she
to write.
writing books along
have
with
to
the
reorganize
It's only
my
the
DVD
movies at this
section
point.
again.
Okay.
Yeah, we do. It's only the movies at this point. She's doing it as complete movies.
So awesome.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
That's so
That's
awesome.
going to be great.
Yeah. So anyway, I've give a nod out. If you haven't seen it yet, go see it. If you can see it in IMAX, because it's breathtaking in IMAX. It's really, yeah. But if not, it's just good.
All right. Drew, what you got for us, sir?
Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children.
Okay.
That one looked good.
I went and saw that with my wife and son, and it was fantastic. It was really well done, really good storyline. Like Debbie said, you got to the end, and I'm like, okay, so when's the next movie coming out? Because I need to know what the hell's going on here. Yeah. Come on.
Now,
we're not done yet. Come on.
Yeah.
without spoiling it, that one is set during a war, just like the Narnia Chronicles. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. It set during the same war, actually.
Okay. I thought so.
So it's very interesting what they did with it. Involves some time travel, involves fantastic powers.
The British X-Men. Excalibur. It's Excalibur.
No, not quite, but it was really well done. A lot of good acting. You know, we ended up going and buying the book afterwards. I still haven't read it because my wife wanted to read it first, and I heard that you want to get the actual physical book, not the ebook.
Okay.
The ebook isn't as doesn't translate well.
Okay.
So,
Okay, interesting.
Cool.
but yeah. Otherwise, initially I thought about mentioning a different movie, Star Trek Beyond. But when I started thinking about it, I'm like, I really liked Miss Peregrine's. I really enjoyed that
Yeah.
one. Although Star Trek Beyond, very good movie.
Yeah.
That would have been my third. I thought that might have been stretching. Like,
I
okay,
can
Deb, shut up.
definitely
But
see some cosplaying with that movie.
oh,
for sure.
I love.
But
Yeah, that was
I
good
mean,
too.
Star Trek Beyond touched on touched on some things that
Some big themes. And
Yeah.
some there was more thoughtfulness in the way that movie was put together, which I loved.
It was extremely necessary for the previous two movies because it really kind of bookended all three of those movies.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the decisions Kirk and that crew were making and what they were dealing with, like, you guys aren't making any sense. And then when you see the third one, you're like, oh, okay, now they're a team.
yeah.
They had to screw up. Got it.
Yeah. And the thing is,
Sometimes the fall takes a while.
well, and they touched on those family themes. They touched on, growing up and getting into your career and getting to the middle of your career and going, am I doing the right thing?
Right, exactly.
This is kind of something that I've been struggling with. And so it really kind of touched me a little bit, after a 25-year career, am I going the right direction or,
Right.
what's going on?
I recommend retirement. It really does wonders for me.
I'm not independently wealthy, so that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I got student loans, but the searching that Spock kind of has to do, which I love. Spock
Yeah.
is always has been my favorite character from the original, like Leonard Nimoy on. I've loved it, and I like how Zachary Quinto plays the character. And I really liked what he did with it. I felt more connected to Spock in this one, and the struggle that he deals with as this Spock, which is different from the struggle that the Leonard Nimoy Spock had because of the storyline is different. But I loved that.
Yeah, and I liked what they did with that piece of it as well. Again, it was really well done, really good movie. I know I've got a couple friends that had some complaints, but I'm just like, I'll take it. I liked it.
Yeah.
It did something for me. It made, I walked out of there going, this was a really good movie.
Yeah.
So
I felt like I watched a Star Trek movie when I was done.
Yeah.
And sometimes, I don't know, the second one I didn't necessarily feel that way. But the third one I did. I was like, okay, I watched Star Trek today. So,
Joshy.
I'm going to go ahead and say that this year was a really good year for us nerds in movies. If you didn't notice, because
We're still waiting on Star Wars.
right.
Rogue One.
Rogue One's
No,
still
we're
coming.
not. Not anymore.
Oh, well.
yeah,
I'm still waiting to go into Star
we're
Wars.
waiting for Star Wars. You all out there are not waiting for Rogue One.
Or maybe we've seen it. Who knows? Anyways,
Spoiler alert,
I would say-
everyone dies.
I would say that's my favorite movie, but I haven't
Poor
seen it yet,
Bothans.
Jabba the Hutt makes an appearance as a baby slug.
look at the cute little job.
but I got to see a lot of them in the theater this year. I saw Deadpool. I saw Batman vs Superman. I saw Captain America: Civil War. Fantastic Beasts. Doctor
Beasts.
Strange. We missed Finding Dory in the theater, but we did get to go.
Did you
We
and I go
buy
and
it,
see
it.
Captain America together?
Possibly. I don't
Did you go
remember
and see
who
it
I
in
saw
IMAX with me and...
Yeah, I thought there was a group of
Kyle
us, but
and-
anyways,
okay.
yeah.
Did you see X-Men? Apocalypse?
Yes, X-Men Apocalypse we saw in theaters, and that is the one that I'm picking.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
I'm really surprised by that because I was sitting here trying to think about this, and I thoroughly enjoyed all of those. But the one that left the most memory on me was Apocalypse. Had nothing to do with the main storyline. It had everything to do with how they turned Magneto evil again. Being a father now of a 2-year-old girl and watching that happen,
That was crazy.
I was a mess.
There were some mean people that wrote that movie. Let me tell you,
I was a mess, but when it was all said and done, whatever convoluted storylines may have been going on, it was a nice throwback, and it was a good movie that didn't even take its own self seriously. Like when they made the joke, everyone knows the third one's the worst. I just enjoyed that. It felt more like an X-Men movie than I was used to because I grew up with the X-Men animated series like a lot of others, and to see a lot more of those characters finally come to the screen after 7 or whatever X-Men movies that had been out, it was really neat. And the Quicksilver scene, the second Quicksilver scene that they did this time around was really, really well done as well, saving all those people. I don't know, that Magneto moment with the daughter, spoiler, being killed. Really,
Now I'm not going to go
Haven't seen
see
it.
it. Thanks, Josh.
I've got on DVD.
I've got the
Haven't seen
DVD
it.
sitting on my table right now.
Oh well,
That's
it's
all right.
not even
Yeah.
made.
No, it's fine now.
Yeah,
No, it's fine.
whatever.
No, yeah. I can't watch
Wait
it
till you
now.
hear about Ed Stark. Anyways,
Ned. His name was Ned.
I call him Ed.
Okay.
We go way back.
There's an ED in his name.
Yeah. It's a short name.
It's Oh, it's Eddard. It's Eddard Stark.
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of a king's going to be named Ned?
But they call him Ned.
Which is weird.
I'd call him Ed. 'cause-
Which is weird. Maybe it was some boyhood thing. Weird thing. All right, Lance.
As
Last
the
but not
resident
least.
comic book guy in the room, I'm very pleased, like Josh was saying, that 1, 2, 3, 4 of you chose comic book movies. It shows that they're back in the public consciousness again, and they are thriving. And I'm even more happy that no one chose Batman versus Superman.
That's my second pick.
I wouldn't have.
Not that the movie was not good.
From a movie standpoint, like as a movie,
I like
not as a
It
Batman
was-
Superman story. Can I
It
say
was
that way?
3
I
different
mean, Lex
movies that were smashed together
Yeah.
and done wrong.
that's
My
true.
opinion.
I agree.
Of course, that's
I
how it
actually
works.
agree with Lance. It didn't even make it into my top 3. Okay, see.
I'm not going to choose a comic book movie because I didn't go to the movies very much this year.
Okay.
I had a newborn son this year, and I've been spending a lot more time with him. And we moved from one place in Indianapolis to another, not even in Indianapolis. So I've been a little busy. I've been to 2 movies this whole year. As of this recording, now by the time this recording releases, I will probably have seen 3. I've seen Zootopia.
I like that movie.
I've seen Pete's Dragon,
haven't seen that one.
and of the 2, Zootopia wins.
I think that's a good movie.
I agree. It's a good movie. Even me, as a
By the
grown
time this releases,
31-year-old
I will
man.
have seen Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. Mm-hmm. But I'm reserving judgment on that one until I actually see it.
Okay. Well, that's our wrap up con games and stuff for the holiday thing. We have a couple other things we're going to do quickly,
Okay?
at least as quickly as you
Yeah.
can.
I'm going to
Go ahead, Lance.
memorialize the year. We've had a really rough year in 2016. And I've never heard us do this before, but I'd like to just mention some of the people that are no longer with us that meant something to some of us in the room. And I'm going to do it as quick as I can. If you have a quick anecdote about the person, go ahead and mention it, because that's what memorials are.
And I'm going to go ahead and preface this with we probably forgot somebody.
I'm going to say that this is not a complete list at all. I
not
condensed it because it already fills up a whole sheet of paper, and that was just a few months worth. So we started off this year with David Bowie, Alan Rickman,
And every Harry Potter fan weeps. Carrie literally did burst into tears the next day.
Abe Vigoda from The Godfather, and Barney Miller, which brings to mind that Ron Glass is one of the most recent ones as of our recording. He was in Barney Miller also, but he played Shepard Book in Firefly.
Passed away.
Yeah, yesterday.
Spoilers!
Oh, but
my
not
gosh.
yesterday, like when you guys are
Well,
listening.
yeah,
but
in recording, yes.
So now
Yeah.
they know when we recorded.
Oh my gosh, I can't handle this episode now.
Well, let me make your thing a little bit harder. The voice actor for Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck, Joe Alasky, passed away.
Wow.
Mrs. Brady from the Brady Bunch, Florence Henderson.
Oh.
Robert Vaughn, the man from U.N.C.L.E., he was also the villain in Superman 3. Leonard Cohen, the poet and novelist. Arnold Palmer, the golfer. Gene Wilder from Blazing Saddles, or most known for most of us as Willy Wonka.
If you have not seen Blazing Saddles or Willy Wonka,
Or any Gene Wilder movie ever, see them all.
His team up with Richard Pryor, it's amazing.
It's
yeah,
wonderful.
So well
see,
done.
see No Evil, Hear No Evil.
Right after
Silver Streak.
Silver
right after he
Streak.
passed, we watched Young Frankenstein over at a friend's house, and he strung up a sheet on the side of his house and projector and the whole thing outside fire pit. It was awesome.
Oh, that's
But
awesome.
a fantastic movie of Gene Wilder's as well. Although I will say, Blazing Saddles is my favorite of the two.
Yeah.
First Lady Nancy Reagan passed away this year. Barry Jenner, who was in Deep Space Nine. Gary Marshall, who directed Pretty Woman, husband to Penny Marshall.
Highly recommend if you haven't seen it. The Odd Couple did a kind of memorial episode.
Oh,
Bruce
yeah.
to CBS's new Odd Couple. They, in a lot of the characters from Gary Marshall's different shows, Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley, etc., were all on the episode, including at the end Penny Marshall's in it. So
Very good. The first on-screen Lois Lane from 1948, Noel Neal passed away this year. We can't mention, this being a geek and nerd podcast, Anton Yelchin, who played Chekhov in the Star Trek series. They did do a memorial to him at the end of the Star Trek movie.
Yeah.
They did. Yeah.
Muhammad Ali passed away.
Yeah.
Kenny Baker, who played R2-D2 in every movie so far.
That just happened.
Yeah.
Not too long ago.
John Barry of the Beastie Boys. Alan Young, who played Wilbur on Mr. Ed, passed away. Morley Safer from 60 Minutes. Madeleine LeBeau, who was the lead actress in Casablanca. Joni
Lawler from the WWE, also known as China.
Yeah, played that character. Prince, the pop musician, so they're all enjoying a really cool concert up in heaven.
No doubt.
It's got David Bowie and Prince and a couple others. Merle Haggard also passed away. Director of Teen Wolf, Rod Daniel. The mom from Everyone Loves Raina, Doris Roberts. David Guest, who was big in fashion, but also Liza Minnelli's husband. Eric Bowersfield, the voice of Admiral Akbar. Patty Duke, she was famously known for the Patty Duke Show. Gary Shandling, who was in his Gary Shandling Show, also one of the senators in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
From Hydra.
Frank Sinatra Jr., George Martin, the producer for the Beatles, and George Gaines, who played the dad on Punky Brewster, also Lassard in Police Academy. So those are just a few of the names, not everyone.
I mean, Leonard Nimoy.
That was last year. That was 2015 in February.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yes.
February, are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Has it really been that long ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they did at the end of the Star Trek, they did a little thing for Leonard Nimoy and
Man,
Yeah, played
time
Chekhov.
flies when you're having fun.
So
Yeah, no
2016, there have been others. I think spirits died a lot this year too. Not being political, not being nerdy, just a lot of reason to celebrate this year, but also a lot of reasons to mourn.
So
Now let's do something fun.
let's do something fun. So every year, since we've started this podcast, we've done some. Oh, you got trivia.
That's right.
So every year since we started this episode, we've had holiday trivia, and Lance is going to do some trivia, and then I've got another fun thing, and then we will let you guys enjoy the rest of your holiday season.
All right. In this one, it's just going to be shout out your answer. Keep your own score. If there is a tie at the end, I have a tiebreaker question. I call these the 6-word synopses. These are Christmas or holiday movies. They may not be necessarily Christmas movies, but they are set in and during, and they play a big part of the holidays, play a big part of the movie. Okay, so 6-word synopses. When you get it, just shout it out. And if I say your name, then you get a point. For example, Winter Golem saves kids from topless magician.
Frosty the Snowman?
Very good. So give yourself a point, Josh.
Okay.
That's what it's going to be like. I'm going to give you 6
Gotcha.
words, and as soon as you figure it out, shout it out. Number 2, neglected child prevents home invasion.
Home Alone.
Drew got it. Bully, soap, lamp,
Christmas
tongue,
Story.
A Christmas Story. Little extra trivia for that. Did you know that it owes its life to Playboy magazine?
Wow.
That movie does. Gene Shepard's book, In God We Trust, All Others Pay Cash, on which A Christmas Story is based, was a collection of autobiographical stories that he wrote for Playboy in the 1960s.
That's crazy.
All right, next one.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah. You filthy animal.
Oh, I love you, Lance.
Next one, ready? His peers jeer until boss reveres.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
Very good. And that one was the first a stop-motion animated TV special by Rankin Bass in 1964. And since then, every time I hear that, I'm just taken back to my childhood. All right, next. A grown-up's elfishness creates holiday hijinks. Elf. Yes. Grown-up selfishness creates holiday hijinks. Next one. Slay Santa, then drive Santa's sleigh.
Santa Claus?
The Santa Claus. Very good. Prime.
I'm sorry.
That's all I got, guys.
But that's not slay Santa and then drive Santa's sleigh. I'm like, wow, that's god awful right there. Like, oh, the Santa Claus. Yeah, I love that movie.
Tim Allen's great.
Yeah.
I should say I came up with these overnight while driving from Indianapolis to Kansas to go see my family for Thanksgiving.
That explains
All right.
a lot.
So
Lots of time to think there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
8 hours worth without stopping.
I've done that drive.
All right. Next one. Water plus midnight snack equals disaster.
Nice.
Gremlins. Did you know that the set for Kingston Falls is the same one that's used for Back to the Future? In fact, the theater
nice.
Spoilers, the theater that blows up all the gremlins is the same one that Marty runs into at the end of Back to the Future.
Oh, that's
the
funny.
DeLorean.
That makes sense.
Next one. Every time a bell rings, George.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, that one's too close to call.
She can have it.
Okay, Deb gets a point. Next one. Yippee-ki-yay, mother fudger.
Oh, the best Christmas movie.
Who got that one? I think everybody gets a point for that one.
Okay.
Everybody give yourself a point. That was the first one I came up with.
I love that.
Next one. A cat, a bird, a rodent.
A cat, a bird, and a rodent.
Looney Tunes Thanksgiving?
Doolittle.
Nope. No Snoopy's Thanksgiving. Anybody else?
A Charlie Brown Christmas?
Nope.
Okay.
No.
How many cats you see in Charlie Brown?
I don't know. No.
Dog.
Garfield the City killed Kid Eastwood.
Nope. Give up.
I'm going to feel so stupid.
Batman Returns.
Oh, that's so good.
A cat, a bird,
There you
a
go.
rodent.
There you go. I feel like an idiot.
But he didn't say. Never mind.
Elemental wizards defeated by Mrs. Claus.
What in the world?
Some of
Island
Santa
with
Claus
Toys?
is coming to town?
No, the next one.
Oh.
The sequel to that one.
Oh my gosh. I know what it is because it's
another Rankin Bass movie.
it's Heat Miser and Snow Miser,
Yeah.
and it's oh my gosh. Is it A Year Without a Santa Claus?
It is The Year Without a Santa
Oh my
Claus.
gosh. I had to remember the song in the beginning of
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to give it to you. You were so close. I was going to give you the point anyway. You were so close there.
It's The Year Without a Santa Claus. Yeah, man, I love that
in
one.
the 1997 Batman movie, going back to the last question, Mr. Freeze, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, has his minions sing the Snow Miser song. He's like, sing!
Oh, I didn't
sing,
realize that.
Sing! Yeah,
That's funny.
It's playing in the background and everything.
That's funny.
Next one. Hot chocolate. Train. North Pole. Believe.
Oh, the Polar Express.
Very good. Drew
I
gets
never
the point.
saw that movie.
I knew it
I
was
saw
Polar
the picture
something.
in my
I couldn't
head, and I was like,
remember,
what's it called?
Yeah, I knew it was a
That's a good
CG
movie.
movie.
That's
I
a
have
good
a
movie.
17-year-old kid, and
Oh, there
so
you go.
we've seen a lot of these.
There you go.
Yep.
Next. Great clips from a digital cut.
Oh, my goodness.
The only thing great clips I can think of is that.
Edward Scissorhands?
Edward Scissorhands. Digital cut. Digital being the fingers.
Wow.
I was thinking Tron for a minute.
Did you know that in the scene where the inventor dies, that's actually Vincent Price passing out?
Is it really?
Yes. Tim Burton kept the scene in. He fainted under the hot studio lights because he was suffering from both emphysema and Parkinson's while they were shooting.
Oh my gosh.
Tim Burton said that there's no better way to show him dying
Right, because
than him actually falling. He made that face and then just went.
Yeah.
Right.
So Tim Burton kept it in the final movie.
Wow.
That's morbid.
That's incredible. That's
But
Tim
it's also
Burton.
legit.
It's Tim
because
Burton.
Yeah, it's Tim Burton.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Okay, there are 2 more of these.
Okay.
Verdant Scrooge has change of heart.
A Christmas Carol?
Nope.
Scrooge?
Scrooge.
Nope.
No.
Verdant.
Grinch Stole Christmas.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Verdant means green.
I was gonna say
No. I should have known that.
Okay. Orphaned town drunk finds Hanukkah spirit.
Fiddler on the Roof?
Nope.
8 Crazy Nights?
8 Crazy Nights.
Wow.
Wow, Don, I'm impressed.
Good job, Don.
Don't
right.
got that one.
I think you
And
I
the
don't know, I have
last
5.
one.
Last one.
Celebrate Life Day far, far away.
A Star Wars Christmas special?
Close.
Star Wars
It's
Christmas
a Star Wars holiday special
Okay.
because they celebrate Life Day. Not-
Oh, okay.
Historically, the first appearance of Boba Fett.
Wow.
That was in 1978, right after Star Wars. 2 years before Empire Strikes Back was released in 1980, even though chronologically he showed up in 2002 in Attack of the Clones.
Wow. Okay.
All right, so scores. What do you got? Prime. You
4.
first. 4? Drew?
4.
4?
4.
Joshie, 4. Deb?
1.
1. Don got 5.
There's your competitive game for the day. there.
Don won a full pocket of lint.
That's right.
So
Oh, my
I've
goodness.
been building this giant, massive, super combat trivia game for the established facts to play at a later date. I've just been in the mood, so as soon as I thought of that on the way, I said, I'm going to play this.
That's
play this
awesome.
on the way out.
I love that. That's fun. That was tough, too. That was cool. All right. Okay. So, the last thing on our episode, and then we're going to let you guys go. But we have to do this.
Have a happy holiday.
Let it go.
Because this is, I'm going to let it go. This is important. Count Strahd von Zarovich has pulled Santa's workshop and all of his elves into Ravenloft.
Oh, crap.
See, you said all the ideas were taken. Santa has asked you to help him get all of it back. He's going to use his magic to give you a famous item or weapon to help you on your way. What do you ask Santa for? Josh Prime.
Well, I had 3 choices in my head, and then you said Ravenloft.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
probably going to take Zeus's lightning bolt.
Okay. All right. I dig it.
It's all right. I'm with you. You'll see.
Drew, what you got?
Because we're on the loft, right?
Zeus's lightning bolt.
It's very nice.
Frightening.
Very nice. Man.
I know, it's tough.
Yeah. The only thing I'm coming up with is Dresden's staff.
Okay. Dresden staff, that'll work.
Okay.
All right. Lance, what you got?
Skip me and go on.
Oh, I knew it.
I was busy doing trivia, and I had to think.
Okay. I'll tell you what. Josh or Deb? Which one?
I've got mine.
Okay, go ahead, Joshy.
Moses' staff.
Okay, so we got 2
Staff was
mages.
Making it biblical.
And a Moses staff. We got Dresden staff. We've got Zeus's thunderbolt.
This is not a peaceful mission.
No, it's not. What do you got, Deb?
Problem is, it's magic. It's not going to work in the loft.
Or will it?
Might. That's the best part. Is it might?
I got a better one. Emerald Lagasse.
Oh,
Bam!
We'll get some garlic in here and we'll be good.
There you go. Magic item or weapon?
Well, you said magic item. Okay.
Yep.
So I want Hermione's time turner.
Okay.
yeah, because I had one similar to that.
All
too.
right.
I was
There you
going to
go.
say, but strange things happen to wizards that meddle with time.
You don't have nothing yet,
So-
Lance?
Because I was going to say the Eye of Agamotto.
Oh, okay. Oh, so Doctor, yeah.
So
Yeah. One of,
I guess
yeah, there you go.
I guess
Well, then I want the
It may-
Infinity Gauntlet.
it may.
Hello.
Oh, well, yeah. It may be slightly cheating, but I'm going to say the Doctor's screwdriver.
Sonic screwdriver.
Has
Okay.
to be the one after the 50th anniversary, though, so it can work.
I
with
want the
one.
current one.
Yeah,
That
right?
thing is awesome.
It is.
Yeah, well.
It looks like the TARDIS.
True.
I got it.
Okay.
In honor of our guest,
Okay.
from the movie Men in Black,
Okay.
Orion's Belt.
Oh,
Because it's got a bunch of stars, and
Yep.
at least one of them is going to be a sun.
there you go.
There-
I
you know
love
what?
it.
There
I
you
love
go.
it. All right, cool.
So we're going to start a war by taking Orion's belt.
Yes.
We just knock on the door, and here's
I thought you were going to go for the noisy cricket.
Oh, noisy cricket was pow. There you go.
That would
Okay,
stop a vampire, but not destroy
A
it.
neuralizer,
Right.
he forgets who he is.
that's true. Yeah. You are Count Dracula. Great Dracula.
That's Dr. Acula.
That's right.
I didn't go to medical school to be called Mr. Thank you.
That's right. Okay. Well, on our last episode of the Established Facts, episode 135, we established that Drew is to Munchkin as Josh Prime is to Candy Corn. And on this episode 136, our holiday and best of 2016, I have written a poem for all of you.
Oh, my.
And it goes like this.
You're gonna remember this
2016...
later.
I've got it written down, so hopefully I will remember this. 2016 might have felt kind of crappy. No more Goblin King, no more Snape, no more Spock.
Who died in 2015.
Right, it doesn't matter. He's still gone. But we,
That's not part of the poem.
that's not part of the poem. But we hope that we've given you a little bit more hope. Because 2017 is gonna rock. Happy holidays, you filthy animal. Thank you so much for listening, and we will check you later.
Merry Christmas.
Happy
next year.
holidays.
bye.
I,
Please visit us at www.theestablishedfacts.com and our Facebook page, facebook.com/theestablishedfacts. If you would like to support us by buying some merchandise, visit cafepress.com/castingrobot.
Bonus